ask a Muslim a question, what would it be? If you could ask a Muslim a question, what would it be?
I got a couple of questions.
If I could ask a Muslim a question, my question would be...
I think the first topic I have to say is, how do they feel about American Muslims? How do they feel about the war that we have right now? Are they for it, against it? You know, everybody has their own sides, but as an American Muslim, how do they feel about it?
You have to take that, you have to look at the fact, dude, does anyone really like war? So, you know, so contextually, I'm saying no, I don't. Some people say it's necessary. I guess in some cases it is. It's case by case, but no, we don't. I don't like the war, and I wouldn't be alone in saying it.
Why are you scared of dogs?
Are Muslims scared of dogs?
I am scared of dogs.
You are?
Yeah.
If I'm out walking with my wife, suddenly I feel them pushing. I'm like, what's wrong? There's a dog. So what? Same thing when I'm in Pakistan. That's a question I want to ask. Why? Why are we afraid of dogs?
But I'm scared of dogs because I have chicken legs, I have really thin Indian legs, and they resemble curry bones. So I feel that's the reason why dogs specifically chase me.
No, it's just, I think it's a personal opinion. When it comes to cleanliness, we are being asked not to be too friendly with the dogs. Especially the wet part of the nose carries a certain germ, which is not healthy. Being scared of dogs, no, those who are vicious, those who are not mine, I really am not a very friendly person with them. But the dog that grew up in front of me is not a problem.
My question would be, do you think the future of the human race is to live in space?
No.
Yes. But don't tell anybody.
What is Ramadan?
Ramadan is the 9th month of the year for the Muslim calendar, and Muslims do fast, meaning that we abstain from drink and from food for the entire day, from sunup to sundown, from dusk to dawn. And at the same time, obviously, we also stop all marital relationships during the day. At night, you can eat. It is not, by the way, a pig-out session or at night that we come to sit down and eat or overexert of eating. It is a month of spirituality. It is a month of giving up food and drink to worship God, the creator of heavens and earth.
But in layman's terms, it's the time when the Quran was revealed to the Prophet, and during this time we celebrate as a sacrifice to all the things that Allah does for us throughout the year. We give Him back 30 days. I know some of you are going, why don't you just give Him a toaster? It's not that easy. You got to commit to something, people.
I hear there are a lot of Muslims in Michigan. Why is that?
I don't know, ask my dad, he moved here for work.
Back in the early 1900s, Henry Ford brought over a lot of Arabs to work in the factories, in Ford's factories, and they immigrated way back, I think primarily in the 20s and 30s, and they've been here ever since. This is actually the largest concentration of Arabs outside of the Middle East. And many of the Arabs are Muslim. Not all of the Arabs are Muslim. Many of them are Christian, actually, as well. But in Michigan, we've got a lot of Arabs and a lot of Muslims for that reason, primarily.
I understand the prayer is three or 4 or 5 times a day. It's like, why so much?
Because it's been prescribed for us. And even if you have a very, very busy lifestyle, a very hectic career, I think somehow or the other, being a commandment from God and a teaching from a prophet as well, that we would do it if we are true believers. It fits into your program very well.
And by the way, when we say prayer, it's not a big, long, drawn-out thing. You know, these prayers are just a few minutes long. You know, you can knock them out literally all 5 prayers in a given day. It might take you, 15 to 30 minutes. So we're not talking about a very exhaustive, long, drawn-out process. You know, the idea is to reconnect with God throughout your day so that you don't allow the world and all of its 1.5 million distractions to distract you from the one who matters most, God Almighty.
I had a roommate in college who was Muslim, and do your hands get dry when you wash them so much before you pray?
Shea butter, go ahead and use that. Try it.
Hey, when are you guys and the Jews just gonna like sit down and have a tea party or something and just can you put all this behind us? It's really old.
That's an interesting question, and I think probably Tuesday. Tuesday or maybe Wednesday, depending on certain issues. But I think I'm hoping for Tuesday.
I don't know. The way I see it, just based on how everyone talks and how emotionally driven both sides are, at this point I feel or have little hope that it's going to be resolved like anytime soon.
How do you like them apples?
Do you guys ever take a bath?
Do you take baths? I try to bathe as little as possible. Generally, I might go, minimum of 7 to 12 days without taking a bath. I'm much more fond of showers, quite frankly, anyway.
I would like to ask Muslims who live outside of the Islamic world, who live in the Western society, what would they say to their brothers and sisters when they go home? How would they project the Western society onto their family?
What I tell them, it's a great country. Absolutely, it's a great country. I was able to fulfill my dreams in this country, what I could not fulfill in the place where I was born, where the place I was living. Even though I had the same religion, the same culture, the same habits, the same everything, I was not able to fulfill them. Yet I came to a country that I have different religion, I have different culture, that they don't look like me, and yet they were open, they were receptive, and I appreciate the great American people. I see it every day. I've been here 28 years. I have seen nothing but goodness from this great country and its people.
Well, only because in America, Simpsons is like the longest running cartoon show ever. I would ask you, what's your favorite flavored squishy?
What's your favorite slushie? I can speak on behalf of the worldwide community of Muslim believers, which is 1.5 billion people, and I can tell you that hands down the winner is red. Red over blue any day of the week.
When Muslims get together and talk about their religion, do they get to debate it back and forth, or is it a direct teaching only?
Do we debate things? Boy, do we ever debate things.
Tons of debate. Islam's been around for a long time. 1,400 plus years. Over that period, you can imagine that there's been 1 or 2 debates.
Yes, but that's usually about, I think, if the tea is the right color. I think that's when we do have debates. Forget about politics, all of that. They're discussing whether the tea is the right color. I think so.
We debate when we see the moon. We debate what's halal and haram. That's what we debate, halal and hilal.
I'm debating if I really want to do this.
I think we don't just debate enough. I think people just say things and they don't actually come out together and say, listen, my side says this, your side says this. Let's talk about it and come to a resolution about it, a middle ground. So I do think that we need to do that more often.
What is unfortunate and sad, as in much of what one could call organized religion, people believe that those who are in some form of religious authority possess all the knowledge on the religion. And if you really look at it, in any particular prophet who brought any faith, you will find that the first people who actually always attacked them were the people who believed that they were the possessors of organized religion. Okay? And so what you find is that there are people who arrogate themselves to believe that all of religious knowledge belongs to them and it is for nobody else to discuss. Ordinary Muslims, though, is a different story.
We do, and it is a healthy activity that we are encouraged to do.
I am a hijabi, not a hojabi.
You tell him, honey.